What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Check it out, man. Over the years, it's always been a lot of conversation about conscious rap and how, man, it ain't no more conscious rap. Back in the days, we had conscious rappers, man. We had groups that spoke life into the community and to the people, man. And you just don't see that no more, man. We got to get back to that. We got to bring that back. And while everything that they're saying I agree with, I think the thing that we tend to overlook is why you don't hear the conscious rap as much as you used to. And it's not to say that it ain't no more conscious rappers, because that's another mistake that people make. Man, ain't nobody dropping no knowledge no more. No, that's not true. It's way more rappers now than it was 30 years ago. So absolutely, just by that total, there would be more rappers who are dropping more knowledge and more consciousness in the music. Just ain't hearing them. So while all that's true, we never asked the question, what is the reason why conscious rap got pushed out in the first place? And the reason why is because in the beginning, in the early stages of rap, and I'm not talking about hip hop on the whole, I'm talking about rap music becoming this lucrative financial entity where record labels are really starting to say, okay, yeah, we can make some money off these cats. We can make some money off of this. And they would sign an artist that they felt like would generate some record sales and generate some revenue. They were not thinking about whether this music was conscious or whatever. Okay, it's selling, hey man, Public Enemy's doing numbers. Hey, this group's doing numbers. And they didn't really factor that in when you standing next to the total agenda, which the agenda has always been there, the agenda to destroy black youth, inner city youth, poor people. That agenda has always been in place. So you would hear songs that were conscious records, you would actually hear them on mainstream radio. You would see the videos on MTV and BET and these different outlets where it's like, man, this stuff is being seen. And now that black pride, that consciousness was basically spread throughout the freaking world. People all over the world feeding into and buying into it. But once they decided, well, you know what, we don't really want them to wake up like that. That's not part of the agenda to have them wake up. The music was taken in a different direction. The car, somebody cut the blink on, and we got to make a turn and move this thing in a different direction. So a new level of control was taken over the music. So now we start to lean more towards materialism. We start to lean more towards sexuality. We start to lean more towards drug use, drug abuse, drug selling, distribution. We start to lean more towards violence in the music. And these things sold as well, actually sold more. But what it also served to do was kill two birds with one stone. And the first bird was, again, we're going to make a lot of money off of it. But the second bird was, we're going to destroy the minds of the listeners who were still listening to some non-conscious music, but they were listening to a lot of other conscious music. So we're going to remove the other side, the balance side of it. And now we're going to just force feed a dominant portion of the negative, degenerative rap. This is not an accident. So now you don't hear conscious music on the radio anymore as much. One may slip through the cracks here and there, but you don't hear it like you used to. You don't see conscious groups and conscious rap artists being big in the commercialized universe. You don't see it. Whereas there was a time where you did see it. You have to really think logically about this to ask yourself the question, did it just happen to be where no more conscious artists stopped doing conscious music? Or that was just, we just decided to get bored with it and didn't want to do it anymore, or forgot how to do it? No, this didn't happen just by happenstance. It was a situation where these labels were like, nah, we can make more money putting these cookie cutter type of artists out who will put out the type of music that we want them to put out, even if we only get 1 or 2 successful projects out of them, because there'll be another one coming after that. We just run through the assembly line, and you, the listener, us, the streets, the hoods, the ghettos, who need to be fed, and in a lot of cases raised like children without fathers, raised by some of these conscious artists and this conscious music, you will no longer get the benefit of that. You don't get that no more. It's all over. And it starts to reflect in the community. Even if people may argue and say, well, nah, man, how can you prove that rap music, that conscious rap music really made a difference? How can you really prove that? Well, I personally wouldn't have any numbers to support that, but the eye test, the visuals that I would see back in the days where people's lives would be lived differently based on the things that were instilled in them through artists, whether it be behavioral, whether it be the knowledge base, just the things they know, whether it be the directions that they went career-wise, where, I want to go to school and I want to know history now. I want to learn my history. I want to go deeper into religion, the realism of religion, not what was handed to us because some rapper taught me something that my preacher didn't teach me. See? So all of these things were on a string. And when they started to see that awakening, black folks waking up left and right, had to chop that down. So now it became very difficult for a conscious rapper to get a record deal. It became very difficult for a conscious rapper to be in heavy rotation on a radio station. And now we have a disproportionate ratio of negativity just feeding into the minds of the people with nothing to balance it off. So when we say, man, why we don't do the conscious stuff no more, why we can't get back, that's why. Because a hidden hand that's in power made sure that we were going to suppress and hopefully eliminate that type of music, because now without that, there's nothing to combat the degenerative content that's being put out, and we can lead these Negroes down a path to further or more rapidly destroy each other. It ain't no accident. Don't ever let nobody tell you. All right, man, it's your big brother K-Rino. I'll catch y'all with another one real soon. I may do a live stream and go deep into this, but I'll catch y'all later on. Peace.